Interview preparation. Answering common product owner questions. Welcome to interview preparation. In this session, we'll focus on answering common product owner interview questions. Interviews can be challenging, but with preparation and practice, you can confidently showcase your skills and experience. As a product owner, employers look for candidates who understand Agile principles and frameworks, can manage stakeholder expectations, have strong communication and decision-making skills. Let's start by exploring the most common types of product owner interview questions. Behavioral questions. Behavioral questions focus on your past experiences to predict how you'll handle future challenges. Example question: tell me about a time you dealt with conflicting stakeholder priorities. How to answer: use the STAR method. Situation: briefly describe the context. Task: explain your role and the challenge. Action: detail the steps you took. Result: share the outcome. Example answer: situation: in my previous role, the marketing team and customer support team had conflicting priorities. Marketing wanted a promotional feature, while support prioritized fixing a critical bug. Task: as the product owner, I needed to align these priorities with our product goals. Action: I analyzed user data, which showed the bug impacted 20% of users. I communicated this to stakeholders, prioritizing the bug fix and scheduling the promotional feature for the next sprint. Result: this decision improved user retention by 15% and maintained stakeholder trust. Pro tip: frame your answers to highlight your problem-solving skills and ability to prioritize effectively. Activity: crafting a STAR answer. Activity instructions. Let's practice answering a behavioral question using the STAR method. Scenario: tell me about a time you improved a team's performance. Write your answer using the STAR framework. Pause the video, write your response, and resume to see an example. Here's an example. Situation: the team's velocity dropped due to poorly defined backlog items. Task: as the product owner, I needed to improve backlog refinement to enhance team performance. Action: I introduced regular refinement sessions and collaborated with stakeholders to add clear acceptance criteria to stories. Result: the team's velocity increased by 20% and sprint goals were consistently met. This approach demonstrates your impact on team performance. Technical questions. Technical questions test your knowledge of Agile practices and tools. Example question: how do you prioritize backlog items? How to answer: discuss prioritization techniques. Mention frameworks like Moscow, value versus effort matrix, or Kano model. Example: I use the Moscow method to categorize items into must-have, should-have, could-have, and won't-have based on business value and user impact. Provide a real-world example. In my previous role, I prioritized a critical bug fix over a new feature using the value versus effort matrix. The bug impacted 15% of users, while the feature had a lower immediate value. Example question: what tools do you use for managing backlogs and tracking progress? How to answer: mention tools like Jira, Trello, or Azure DevOps. Highlight how you use them effectively. Example: I use Jira to manage the backlog, track sprint progress, and generate reports for stakeholders. I also integrate it with Confluence for documentation and team collaboration. Pro tip: emphasize your understanding of Agile tools and how they enhance team productivity. Answering a technical question. Activity instructions. Let's practice answering a technical question. Scenario: how do you handle changes to sprint goals? Write a brief answer that demonstrates your understanding of Agile principles. Pause the video, write your response, and resume to see an example. Here's an example. I address changes to sprint goals by first assessing their impact on the sprint backlog. If the change is critical, I communicate with the team and stakeholders to reprioritize tasks. Otherwise, I schedule a change for the next sprint to maintain focus on current goals. This ensures minimal disruption while addressing priorities effectively. Situational questions. Situational questions test your ability to think on your feet and apply Agile principles to hypothetical scenarios. Example question: What would you do if the development team consistently missed sprint goals? How to answer. Identify the root cause. Example, I'd conduct a retrospective to understand the reasons behind missed goals, such as unclear requirements or unrealistic sprint planning. Propose solutions. Based on findings, I'd improve backlog refinement, ensure better capacity planning, and remove blockers affecting the team's progress. Highlight collaboration. I'd work closely with the Scrum Master and team to implement these changes and monitor progress over the next sprints. Pro tip: keep your answers solution-oriented and aligned with Agile values, closing, and next steps. Let's summarize what we've covered today. Behavioral questions focus on your past experiences. Use the STAR method to structure your answers. Technical questions test your knowledge of Agile practices and tools. Provide examples to demonstrate your expertise. Situational questions evaluate your problem-solving skills. Stay solution-focused and align with Agile principles. In the next session, we'll conduct mock interview scenarios to help you practice and refine your responses. Thank you for joining this session, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.